security concerns are intensifying across several regions this morning, with rising instability stretching from the Middle East to Eastern Europe and parts of Asia. In Pakistan, a suicide car bombing followed by an armed assault targeted a police and security compound in Banu, northwest of the country. Multiple officers were killed as security forces launched an extended operation to regain control of the area. The attack highlights ongoing militant threats along Pakistan's western frontier, where authorities continue facing pressure from insurgent groups operating near the Afghan border. Meanwhile, tensions in the Middle East remain volatile despite ongoing ceasefire efforts. Israel carried out fresh drone and air strikes across southern Lebanon and areas near Beirut overnight, causing casualties and marking one of the most serious escalations seen in recent weeks. The strikes come as diplomatic efforts to contain the wider Iran-Israel confrontation remain fragile. Iran, for its part, says it is reviewing the latest U.S. proposal at its own pace, while reports indicate President Donald Trump is awaiting Tehran's response amid continuing negotiations tied to regional tensions. Military positioning across the Gulf is also expanding. Britain has deployed the HMS Dragon toward the Middle East for a possible Strait of Hormuz mission, while France confirmed that the aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle and its strike group have transited the Suez Canal en route to the Red Sea as part of a broader multinational naval presence. The United Kingdom and France are increasing naval coordination to secure Gulf shipping lanes as fears grow over a broader regional escalation that could disrupt global trade and energy supplies. Meanwhile, Iranian officials warned they would retaliate against the United States if vessels come under further attack during the ceasefire period. In Eastern Europe, Russia and Ukraine exchanged new accusations of ceasefire violations during the Victory Day truce period, with reports of overnight drone strikes and artillery fire continuing across several sectors. Despite the renewed violence, Donald Trump claimed both Moscow and Kiev had agreed to his proposal for a temporary 3-day ceasefire and a prisoner exchange. Russian President Vladimir Putin said he believes the war is approaching its conclusion. Although Russia's Victory Day commemorations were notably more subdued this year as the conflict continues to weigh heavily on the region, a major political transition is also underway in Hungary, where opposition leader Péter Magyar was officially sworn in as Prime Minister, ending the long rule of Viktor Orbán and signaling a significant shift in the country's political direction. Elsewhere, Burkina Faso reported deadly militant attacks targeting military-linked positions in eastern regions of the country, underscoring the worsening security crisis across parts of the Sahel. In Indonesia, authorities confirmed a deadly highway collision involving a passenger bus and a fuel tanker. The crash triggered a large fire and resulted in multiple fatalities. Health agencies are also expanding international monitoring efforts connected to the hantavirus outbreak aboard the cruise vessel MV Hondius. Emergency response coordination, quarantine procedures, and passenger contact tracing have now extended to parts of Europe, including precautionary isolation measures linked to a flight segment in southern Italy. In the United States, investigators are examining a fatal aviation ground incident at Denver Airport after a person was struck by a departing passenger aircraft during takeoff procedures. Separately, emergency crews near Miami responded to a boat explosion that injured multiple people and triggered a large-scale rescue operation. Across Europe, several cities experienced overnight unrest, clashes and arrests and linked to political demonstrations and football-related disturbances, adding to wider concerns over public order and rising political tensions. And in East Asia, defense officials in both South Korea and Japan reported renewed North Korean military and maritime activity during the evening hours, developments that continue to draw close monitoring from regional security agencies. Finally, oil markets experienced sharp volatility during late trading as military developments and diplomatic uncertainty in the Gulf region continued to shift rapidly, leaving investors cautious about the risk of wider disruption in global energy markets. Return for the next brief. Stay ahead of the signal.